The grand opening of your museum is right around the corner, and the visitors are eager to see the exhibited objects in the freshly built wings. You have worked hard to get here, but does your museum have what it takes to win the coveted Museum of the Year award, or do you still need to work on your skills? Hello everyone and welcome to Ollie Plays a Lot. My name is Ollie, and in today's Before You Pledge episode we will be taking a look at Curators by Jacob Westerlund, illustrated by Emilie Vaccarini Francis and Niklas Wallén, and soon to be published by Worldshapers. At the moment of this recording, the game is successfully funded on Kickstarter and it's about to reach its third stretch goal. For the purposes of this episode, I have been sent a copy by the publisher and I'm doing this review on his request. I should also point out that the components you see in the video are not the final one, so you should definitely check out the Kickstarter page to see what the design team has in plan. Curators Collection Conundrum is a 45-minute long language-independent family-weight game for 1 to 4 players. As the title of the game and the front cover of the box points out, you are passionate curators competing for prestige. Throughout the game, you will expand your museum, excavate valuable objects or buy them at the auction to later restore and exhibit them in the museum wings, attracting visitors and earning some money from sold tickets. The player with the most visitor points at the end of the game wins. Unlike in other Before You Pledge episodes, today we will not go through the rules of the game, but rather jump to the review part. If you want to know more about how the game plays, you should definitely check out Ella's splendid rules video, to which I also left a link in the description below. In its essence, Curators is a tile placement and pattern building abstract game with a clever action selection mechanism. The tiles are double-sided polyomino pieces which represent museum wings with 1 to 4 blue, red or black colored rooms. The colors have no thematic tie, or at least I haven't discovered any, but are important when you exhibit objects and when you score the loan contracts at the end of the game. The loan contracts are practically the blueprints of your museum, and in order to score visitor points at the end of the game, you are stimulated to place these polyomino pieces in a certain pattern. Yeah, this is all cute, you might say, but what makes Curators stand out from other popular pattern building games like Azul or Sagrada, or other tile placement games like Isle of Skye or A Feast for Odin? A game I still dread to play because of its intimidating size. And the answer is simple. The action selection mechanism is the heart of the game, and it is the reason why I reached out for a review copy to Pablo, one of the co-designers of the game. Your 5 employees are represented by double-sided cardboard tokens. To allocate one of them and use the associated action, you flip any one token or 2 tokens with identical symbols. In the first turn, each of your symbols is different, so you can only single allocate any of your employees. But depending on the action you take, in the subsequent turns you can already double allocate a worker, performing its action twice in a turn. And this is where the game turns into a great puzzle, as you are focusing on efficiently linking your actions so that you set yourself up for rewarding combos. Needless to say, double allocating your worker means you expand your museum faster, obtain and exhibit objects quicker, and cash in twice as much money per visitor than if you single allocated one. This clever action selection mechanism is the reason for the aha moments of the game. First, you will only concentrate on your current turn. And when you get used to what symbol is on the backside of each token, you start planning 1-2 turns ahead and aim to double allocate in the right moment. I enjoy that the game doesn't have a predetermined number of rounds, and its end is triggered by the actions the players take. There is always a healthy rise in tension as the museum wings in the center of the table get fewer and fewer, and I keep checking what actions the other players have available, and if they are able to snatch that one piece, I still need to complete my loan contracts. Now, even if all possible actions are always visible to anyone, my brother pointed out that playing Curators felt like a multiplayer solitaire game because there is little interaction between players. Although I don't have any issue with this, and I like how snappy some turns were because you could plan ahead a couple of turns without bothering what others did on their board, if you are the type of player that likes to mess the others' plan up, steal their resources, or occupy their action spots, Curators will fall flat for you. Players only slightly interact with each other by taking the wings, filling the auction house, or buying the objects from there, but you cannot intentionally hinder anyone's plan because you don't know and don't even suspect which wing or object they want to buy or what loan contracts they aim to fulfill. You decide whether this is a good or a bad thing for you, but again, I didn't feel the need of a that element in a family game and was pretty relieved that no one could mess with my little puzzle I was working on. Speaking of solitaire games, in the current solo mode of Curators there are 5 challenges in which you aim to surpass a score in 18 rounds. In sum, you will have to complete certain contracts, build a section of a specific color, or pay your staff after a few rounds. One last thing I want to mention before synthesizing my thoughts about the game is that the designers came up with an add-on that made me truly happy: the clay chip upgrade. The game components of the prototype I have are surprisingly good. The player boards are thick and the cards have a nice touch, so I am sure their final version will be great as well. But having clay chips instead of cardboard ones will surely enhance the game experience. I will pull out Curators Collection Conundrum when I'm looking for a title I can play and in the meanwhile chat with the others. The puzzle you are solving is new every time because the wings are placed randomly in the spiral and the loan contracts are dealt randomly at the beginning of the game. Although I use standard opening moves, Carpenter, Archaeologist, Double Collection Manager, Double Restorer, Double Financial Manager, and I tend to finish the game by either piling up objects and restoring them or exhibiting objects and getting money. The labyrinth of decision that connects point A with point B is where all the joy of the game resides. Curators is suitable as a transition game between 2 crunchy euros and will most likely appeal to newbies in the hobby and casual players. Although the theme is not the strong point of the game, the actions you take make sense thematically, and the player boards look like square-shaped museum entrances where the characters walk around casually. I appreciate that all the important symbols are easily legible, and the rulebook is really well written. The solo mode is challenging, the action selection mechanism is neat, and for first-time publishers I think that the whole team behind Curators did a really great job. My name is Ollie and I'm glad that we spent another Before You Pledge episode together on Ollie Plays a Lot. If you enjoyed the content, feel free to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe to the channel. Hopefully by now you have a clearer image of how Curators Collection Conundrum plays, and I really encourage you to check out their Kickstarter page. See you on the next episode. Happy gaming!